Top 10 cheapest airlines first class seats in 2020. As cheap as or cheaper than economy seats before coronavirus. If you ever thought that flying first class was way out of your league and that you would only be able to afford coach, then boy do we have news for you. Now that travel restrictions around the world are slowly starting to be lifted and airlines are in desperate need of passengers, we can find some pretty amazing deals when it comes to ticket prices. After sifting through hundreds of deals offered by some of the best airlines in the world, we've come up with the ultimate list of the top 10 cheapest first-class seats for the second half of 2020 that'll run for the same price you would have paid on an economy flight in 2019. Destinations include bucket list trips to Caribbean paradise islands, luxurious Middle Eastern states, and some of the most stunning beaches you'll find in the US. We'll even unveil one of the best hidden secrets airlines don't want you to know about how to get where you want to go for only a fraction of the price you would normally pay. So keep watching to the end if you want to become a flight hacking guru. But first, support us by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel for more videos about making the best of the new normal. Flying first class is all about the experience and the service. It starts when you get to the airport and lasts until you land at your destination. The longer the flight, the more service and comfort you'll be able to enjoy, even on those long layovers. So we've ranked this list of the top 10 cheapest flights according to how much you'll have to pay per mile traveled. Without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Dubai to Kuwait City on Kuwait Airways. The first thing that pops into our heads when we think about Dubai is an awe-inspiring cityscape with a stunning skyline and lavish luxury in every corner. You wouldn't expect anything less from a first-class flight departing from Dubai International Airport, no matter what the destination is. You'll love the first-class lounge in Dubai's International Airport, where you'll be able to take a bath, get a drink, and even enjoy a hot meal, all complimentary of course. Once you board the plane, you'll get a private suite all to yourself, with a lie-flat seat, super fast Wi-Fi, all the champagne you can drink, along with canapes, delicious gourmet dishes, and chocolates before going to bed. It'll be a 5-star experience from start to finish. How much will this ticket cost? If you book it for October 4th or beyond, the 530-mile trip will go for only $594, averaging around $1.1 per mile you fly. That's not bad at all, but we'll show you deals 20 times better. Wait till you see what's coming. Number 9. Shanghai to Taipei on China Southern. Sparkling clean and comfy nap rooms, great Wi-Fi, and overall comfort await you in the China Southern Shanghai Lounge. A soft knock on the door by the staff reminding you that your plane is boarding will be more than welcome. And once on board, you'll be treated like a VIP, with beverages and dining on demand, the typical first-class amenity kit that includes everything from a toothbrush to a full-body pajama for you to enjoy a comfy rest in your own flatbed suite. This ticket includes an overnight stop in Shenzhen, but don't worry, the lounge is also there to make your wait more than worthwhile, with sleep rooms, fine dining, snacks, and even a golf simulator. The fare in this case will be $971, but with a total distance of 1,250 miles flown, that works out to about 78 cents per mile. The only downside is that you won't get onboard Wi-Fi, but everything else makes up for it. Number 8. Paris to Palma de Mallorca on Air Algérie. This route starts in Orly Airport and makes a stop in Algeria on board an Airbus A330 in first-class seats. Although you won't get lie-flat suites, you will enjoy delicious hot meals, movies on demand, and exceptional service, both on board the plane and at the Salon Premier Lounge. Once you reach Algeria, an ATR 72 will take you to the Spanish island, where plenty of adventures await you. At a price of only $628, the 1,030-mile journey will equate to about 60 cents per mile, a lot cheaper than the two previous options. These 3 routes may not be your top choices when it comes to setting up the itinerary of your first post-COVID-19 trip, but they offer a lot of value. However, if you're on the US East Coast, some of these next destinations will surely be more than appealing. Number 7. New York to Dubai on Delta and Air France. This is where things really start to get interesting. Be warned that this ticket will cost a lot of money, but it will be to the other end of the world and in first class, so it was only to be expected. Long layovers and red-eye flights may seem like a nightmare, but not when you're traveling first class. You start off flying Delta from LaGuardia to Miami, and after a short layover, which you'll trip in Delta's or Air France's first class lounge, you'll cross the pond on board an Air France Boeing 777, with their superb VIP service and private suites full of amenities. Fine wines, champagne, and French cuisine will all be there to make your trip a real pleasure. The layover in Charles de Gaulle will be over before you know it, and you'll be on your way to mesmerizing Dubai, once again on a Boeing 777. The cheapest this route will cost is $3,870, which may seem like a lot, and it is, but it's nothing considering that the same trip would have cost you over $10,000 in 2019. Also, totaling almost 9,000 miles in the air, you end up paying roughly 40 cents per mile you fly, so you really get a lot more for your money. Number 6. New York to Las Vegas on United. When it comes to low-cost, first-class travel, the cheapest options have always been among domestic flights within the US, and that is still true today. However, in a country that's 3,000 miles across, a trip from one corner to another may be a lot longer than many international flights. That's pretty much what this 2,230-mile-long flight on an Airbus A320 from United Airlines embodies. You'll get everything you'd expect from a first-class seat of one of the biggest airlines out there, except for the lie-flat seat. Although, to be fair, that is also absent from most domestic first-class cabins, so it's really not that big a deal. You'll enjoy everything from priority check-in and security screening at the airport, access to the Polaris Lounge, as well as food, drink, and pampering while on board the plane. But what's most amazing is the price, which is only $370. Considering the distance, you're only paying 17 cents per mile you fly, way under half of what you'd pay for Dubai. There are still more domestic flights to come on our list, some of which even a budget-conscious college student can afford without selling a kidney. So put up the volume on your headset, keep watching, and remember, at the end of the video we'll show you a hack that many people never knew existed, and will totally change the way you approach choosing routes for your next trip. Number 5. New York to San Diego on United. If you want to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast in style, then this route is a total winner. Departing from Newark Liberty International Airport and landing on San Diego, you'll love every minute of this long-haul trip across America. You'll get DirecTV, onboard Wi-Fi, food, drinks, outlets to charge your mobile devices, and great service, all for just $385. With a covered distance of 2,400 miles, you're only paying about 16 cents per mile, which is a bargain for first class. Number 4. San Diego to Honolulu on American Airlines. Do you want a Hawaiian honeymoon that starts and ends in style? Then take a look at this first-class route from San Diego to Honolulu on American Airlines that will only set you back $400 each. The first leg of the trip takes you to San Jose, California, on board an Embraer 175. You'll have an overnight layover that you'll be able to go through like VIPs in the AA's flagship lounge, and the next day you'll board a Boeing 737 that will take you to the gorgeous Pacific Island. After traveling over 2,800 miles, the trip works out to 14 cents per mile. Not bad for a luxury flight to paradise. We've reached the top 3, and here you'll find another domestic long hauler as well as 2 international flights with prices you could never have guessed. Number 3. New York to Cancun on United. United Airlines shows up consistently on any list of cheap first-class flights, but this one is simply ridiculous. It's not only the least expensive ticket on this list, but it also takes you to one of the best beach destinations in the entire world. It also gives you the 3rd best cost per mile at around 12 cents for a journey that totals 2,210 miles in the air with 2 stops. Did you do the math already? Yes, this ticket only costs a mere $270. You could set up a week-long getaway with your partner to this stunning destination, rent a nice Airbnb for the two of you, and come back home, all for well under $2,000. The best part will be that you'll be traveling like royalty, but you won't be spending like them. Number 2. New York to Maui on United. So, what happens if you want to have that wonderful honeymoon in Hawaii we were talking about a minute ago, but you're on the East Coast? No problem. You'll only have to put up an extra couple of $100 and you're set for a trip from New York all the way to Maui. Once there, enjoy aloha living and pineapple cocktails in any of the nearby islands. Totaling nearly 5,000 miles and at a cost of around $600, you'll barely be paying 12 cents per first-class mile. Number 1. New York to Aruba on Delta. This is the number 1 best first-class trip you can book at one of the cheapest prices possible. Departing from New York's JFK and making 2 stops, one at Salt Lake City and the other at Atlanta. Yes, backtracking a bit, but all while flying in first-class lie-flat seats with Wi-Fi, plenty of private space, a bag full of amenities, and access to Delta's Sky Club lounges in every airport. The lounges will feel like destinations themselves and will make your layovers an absolute joy. The trip's total distance is 5,300 miles, the second longest on our list, yet its price is the second cheapest. If you want a hint, you'll pay half per mile than with the best of the other options. Impressed? So were we when we found this hidden gem of a flight linking 2 such amazing places for only $350. Talk about more bang for your buck if you really enjoy flying. Honorary mentions. The cheapest first-class flight in the world by price, Los Angeles to San Francisco on Alaska SkyWest. Now that we covered the top 10 cheapest first-class flights by per-mile price, meet the cheapest of all by total price. It's a 1 hour and 10 minutes flight from 2 major Californian urban hubs, but the price is simply too ridiculous to believe. I mean, come on, $79 for a first-class ticket, including taxes and fees? It'll probably end up being cheaper than paying the gas to drive there. Flight hacking. The cheapest possible first-class ticket from New York to Paris. So, traveling to Paris on first class is by no means cheap. The cheapest possible ticket you'll find is almost $7,000, but most of them go for $9,000 and even $10,000 or more. But if you're watching this video, you won't have to pay that much. In fact, you can make the same trip in first class for under $4,000, and here's how. Remember the New York to Dubai ticket we mentioned earlier? Well, that route makes a stop in Paris before continuing on to Dubai. To travel cheap to Paris, all you have to do is simply skip the last leg of that trip, leave the airport, and you're there after paying only $3,800. Airlines hate it when passengers do this, but there's nothing they can do to avoid it. The only problem is that you'll have to travel light with only your carry-on baggage, as any other checked-in bag will end up in Dubai. However, when you consider that you're saving well over $4,000, that doesn't seem like much sacrifice, does it? Have you ever purposefully or accidentally skipped a leg and ended up better than when you started? I'll bet you'll be paying more attention to the stops along the way when you book your next flight. Which one of these first-class tickets do you think is the best one? Leave a comment and join the discussion. But first, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and tick the bell icon. Your support makes all the difference in the world. Thanks for watching.